Hereby, I, Svetlana Pionova, on behalf of political party The Volya and broad masses of population represented by the party, claim the following. We consider negotiations between top management of our country and NATO, held behind our back, regarding establishment of transit point of NATO in Ulyanovsk, to be treachery. NATO was established to fight socialist camp, and the USSR, consequently in hostile toward Russia, succeeded to the USSR. NATO is the most belligerent army in the world, so we do not believe that they are going to transport only toilet paper as is declared by Russian officials. Not by mere chance NATO ignore other, more convenient routes. Out of this situation, NATO derives strategical, not economical benefit. NATO is considered a potential enemy in military doctrine approved by acting president. And nobody asked people of the country whether we want to have potential enemy in our homeland. NATO cargo will be transported via Ulyanovsk. Moscow has agreed to allow NATO coalition to supply coalition forces in Afghanistan through this Russian city. Negotiations took 18 months. In 2010, witnesses from a number of regions of Russia informed us about military barracks being prepared for NATO troops. Our protests produced the effect NATO did not enroach our country. Now they attempt to intrude under a new pretense. Population of country is supposed to protect themselves. Indeed, the ultimatum we presented to the president in 2010 was taken into consideration. We believe people are to protect their interests. It's known that NATO soldiers shot down innocent civilians in Kyrgyz and never responded for that. It started in 2007 when Putin's ratified agreement allowing NATO to cross state borders of Russia with no passports and no visas. NATO soldiers were allowed to cross Russian border with military equipment and weapons having only ID. I've told that in all my public speeches, but nobody wanted to believe NATO playing master in our house. They took advantage of Russian kindness. We're sad. They're all our allies. Certainly not. NATO was organized to fight the Soviet Union, and the goal has been achieved. Warsaw Treaty Organization has been destroyed. NATO commands all over the world, but we want not to think about Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia ravaged by NATO. They bomb any place in the world, declaring their national interests on the world territory. Now they have their national interest in our country, and we are letting them in. On the 7th of April, a big rally saying no to NATO took place in Ulyanovsk. Besides the Volya party, initiator of the rally, and over 1,500 of Ulyanovsk people taking place in it, representatives of other movements were enthusiastic about participating in such a big action of Ulyanovsk. People came up with distrust to the governor of Ulyanovsk region, Sergei Morozov, and the head of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sergei Lavrov, speaking of the allowing transport of cargo, and they assured of NATO not appearing in the city. They are absolutely against NATO in Russia and demand annulling all the previous agreements, particularly transit of cargo through air. Participants of the rally put their names down for the letter to the government where they demand to stop negotiation about NATO transportation gateway in Ulyanovsk. Uzbekistan does not want NATO bases on its territory. Why? Because NATO troops are always accompanied by drug traffic and prostitution. People of Russia, only you can protect yourselves. Official, gain profit facilitating enemy army in Ulyanovsk. Only we common people gain huge danger for our life, and gain jackboot on the most aggressive army in the very heart of our motherland. Nobody will come to rescue our country. This is to be realized by every citizen.